Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. This is going to be my Fear the Walking Dead episode 4 video. So next week is actually called Cobalt, and that was the working title of Fear the Walking Dead before they started calling it Fear the Walking Dead. So this is really when things are starting to get crazy. Just careful for spoilers if you haven't seen the episode yet. A new round of the giveaway starts now. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. So here we go, starting with top 5 WTF moments. Number 5, welcome to the safe zone. Nothing to see here, move it along, just keep moving along, don't mind the bodies outside. So charting the timeline, it's been 9 days since they put up a fence around what is now being called the safe zone, and there are 12 of these, 12 different safe zones, in addition to quote-unquote quarantine zones that we haven't seen yet. The other safe zones probably just look like this safe zone. Beyond the military, we really don't know who else is in charge. It just seems like it's military rule right now. The lieutenant there has gone full on MASH. He's just like hitting golf balls like it's no big deal. You saw a light? No, there's no light. There's nothing. Nothing's going on. Pay no attention. Go along your business. And the way they open the episode with that weird creepy song is just meant to highlight the charade that the military is trying to keep up. Like, hey, everything is normal. Just go about your business. Repaint your living rooms. But on to number 4, Madison sneaks outside the fence and just finds bodies lying everywhere. People have been executed all over the place, regardless of whether or not they're sick. It also kind of looks like some of these people may have been in standoffs with the military, like they pulled guns and the military people just shot them down without asking questions. So that, in addition to Daniel's speech about what happened in his childhood, is just meant to highlight what's going on outside the safe zone and what's going on inside. So this episode is really about the characters just opening their eyes to the reality of the situation. Like, things are absolutely not normal at all. On to number 3, the creepy doctor going around telling everybody about the hospital that probably does not exist. To be fair though, there probably is a hospital in a nearby quarantine zone, but because of Daniel's speech, it's pretty clear that when shit hits the fan, like and people start turning inside these quarantine zones, because there are sick people in the quarantine zones, people that are close to death, then the military is probably just going to execute everyone. Like, they're probably not taking people to death camps, they probably do intend to treat people, but because we've been watching the main show, we know that people turn into walkers whenever they die, and there are probably a lot of these people in these quarantine zones that are close to death. So just to explain Daniel's speech, in his home country, what happened is there was like some sort of military situation and a bunch of people got rounded up, taken out, and shot. But the military people were like, don't worry, they'll be right back. We're just gonna go talk to them for a little while. So when Daniel said as a boy, he saw all these bodies in the river, it's like when Madison is out on the streets looking at all these dead bodies lying around. It's just a taste of things to come. The things that fear makes good men do. And that's also kind of what was going on with Nick. If you were curious about the big WTF moment when he sabotaged that man's morphine drip, he was probably doing that because he was afraid he was going to hog all the medicine or something like that. Like he was going to be a drain on the safe zone supplies. Speaking of which, that was also kind of the same thing going on with Liza. She was going around telling the creepy doctor who all the sick people were, who the local drug addict was. On to number 2, things get a little crazier. The military comes in with guns to their house, takes Nick and Daniel's wife, but does not let Daniel come. They're just like, yeah, we made some promises. Nope, not gonna happen. You stay here. We're just taking these two. The things that happened in his childhood that he tried to flee from, it's all happening again. I think what's gonna happen now, especially since Liza went with them, is that we're gonna get a look inside those quarantine camps. We'll actually see what's going on inside there. And yes, they probably have doctors, they probably have some sort of hospital situation, but the minute that a couple of those patients turn, the military is probably just gonna gun down everyone without asking any questions. So maybe they'll use Sean Hatosi here to help get them out because he's their military man on the inside. If you didn't recognize him, he's actually an actor that was on Southland with Michael Cudlitz, who's Abraham on the main show, and with Ben McKenzie, who's on Gotham, which is actually coming back tonight. So you see, it's all connected. But he's actually a pretty big character actor, so I think that he's going to be back in next week's episode, and he's going to be the person that will help get the other people into the quarantine zone. Or he'll be the one to help Nick get out, because I don't think that Daniel's wife is going to make it. Either way, we have to get a look inside those camps next week. And finally, onto my number 1 WTF moment, Travis finally realizes what the light is on the hill. People are being executed, it's gunfire. And no, I don't think that that's one of the quarantine camps where that's happening. I think it's just like a random house that people are being taken to. It's just meant to hammer home the point of what's really going on, despite what the lieutenant says. No, we combed every single house, there's no one out there, nothing to see, nothing's happening. Don't ask me questions about this again. That conversation actually happened relatively early in the episode, like the minute that a person of authority quickly dismisses something like that you clearly see, like we saw it a couple times, then you know something's up. So here's a real big question for you guys. Let me know in the comments, how long do you think it's going to be inside one of these quarantine zones before people start turning and the military flips out and just starts gunning everyone down in sight? Picture like a large airplane hangar with a bunch of sick people. All of a sudden, one small corner of it starts to turn and walkers start spreading like wildfire. It's like the perfect storm. You have a bunch of sick people all in really close proximity to each other, packed in like sardines. All it takes is 2 or 3 of them to start turning and they're all effed. So if you got a World War II death camp vibe from this, like Nazi death camp, then you are right on the mark. People are being taken to camps to be executed. Whether or not that was their initial intention, that's definitely what's going to be happening. So in case you guys didn't know, there's only 2 more episodes of Fear the Walking Dead in season 1. Then we're going to get episode 1 of the main show and it'll be just like normal. I don't think I'm going to have time to make a Walking Dead Q&A this week, so I'll try to answer all your guys' questions in the comments on this video. So what I'm going to do is just keep the giveaway open this week until I post my next Fear the Walking Dead video. Gotham Season 2 Episode 1 is airing tonight, so I'm going to do that video next. I still need to do a Doctor Who Q&A, so I'll try to do that after Gotham. And I'm also doing a Doctor Who giveaway, so if you haven't watched that Doctor Who video that I posted this weekend, just check that out. There are a bunch of TV shows starting this week, so just be sure to follow me on Twitter and Facebook for updates on when videos are posting. While you guys wait for everything, you can click here to catch up on Doctor Who if you guys haven't seen my Doctor Who Episode 1 video, and you can click here for all my other Walking Dead videos. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.